First responders rushed to the scene after a house explodes in Orland. Good afternoon. I'm Beth Jones. Susan Farley is off. We're also following as the state prepares for President Biden's visit to Lewiston. He's expected to touch down in just a couple of hours. And after months of uncertainty and auction delays, an Orrington trash facility has finally been sold. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs for our weather. Devin.
All righty, TGIF, we've made it to Friday, and we have a small crowd advisory up until 2 p.m. on Saturday, though, and we're watching some active surf that will be common courtesy of some gusty winds as we do move forward. Clouds have been moving through today so far, and as we take a look at things, though, you might see a few returns on the radar, but I don't think this is reaching the ground at all, though. A lot of dry air in the atmosphere, so whatever's falling, possibly evaporating before it reaches the ground. Let's zoom things out, though. As you get these clouds through, a lot of sunshine will be returning, so these clouds will be rather short-lived, though, especially with high pressure right nearby. Let's break all this down with Futurecast. So the sunshine returns during the afternoon period today. More clouds on the way later on tonight. Maybe a few rain showers to the north, though, but nothing in our neck of the woods, really, as there will be that dry air aloft yet again, though. So overall, we're looking pretty dry as we head towards early Saturday morning. Now, it will be windy out there as well. Southwest winds sustained at around 15 miles per hour. Gusts up to 25 miles per hour are possible. We'll keep that going tonight, but notice it starts to back off as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. So by tomorrow evening, we'll start to look a little bit better. So for today, though, lower 50s, not bad. Partly cloudy and breezy out there, and that south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Later on tonight, though, lower 40s, mostly cloudy and breezy out there, and that south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. And for the daytime tomorrow, middle 50s, and even warmer, though. Partly cloudy, that southwest breeze backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, plenty of sunshine on the way. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Devin. We'll be waiting for it. In the meantime, we were on the scene of a house explosion in Orland this morning. Our Devin Dagnall was there and has details. And it looks like we're having...
Thank you, Beth. I'm on scene at a house fire in Orland that has displaced a family of 4 and sent all of them to the hospital. According to officials, a tone went out around 9 a.m. for an explosion and house fire with people possibly strapped inside of the structure. Now, of the 4 that were sent to the hospital, 2 of those were in critical condition and the other 2 were in stable condition. We'll have more on this story tonight at 6. In Orland, I'm Devin Dagnall with ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, thank you, Devin. Meanwhile, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will visit Lewiston today following the horrific mass shooting last week that killed 18 people and injured numerous others. Our Corey Bouchard is live there as the community prepares. Corey.
Good afternoon, Beth. That's right. I am standing here outside of the Just-in-Time Recreation Center, which was one of the sites of last week's mass shootings, the other being Schmenge's Bar and Grill in Lewiston. President Biden is expected to be here this afternoon. As you can see behind me, there are people that are gathering at the memorial site that was set up here. I spoke to one that was here earlier about President Biden's upcoming visit, and this is what she had to say.
I think it's great that he's coming here to support our community and our state. Lewiston Auburn is a great community, a small community, and as you see, we're coming together for people that were affected by this tragedy.
Now, we know around in the 2 o'clock hour, sometime that time frame, President Biden will be landing in Brunswick at the Brunswick Airport, the former Brunswick Naval Air Station there. And then he will be choppering on Marine One over here in Lewiston. We're not sure where exactly he will be landing, but we're going to be following this all afternoon, all evening, and we'll bring you the latest as it happens. But for now, back to you in the studio, Beth.
All right, Corey, thank you so much. In other news this noon, testimony is underway for a Portland man accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend at Acadia National Park. Raymond Lester is accused of striking Nicole Mokeme with his vehicle and leaving her for dead before fleeing the country. Today on the witness stand, we heard from multiple witnesses that testified to the nature of the couple's relationship before the alleged murder. Mokeme's previous roommate and neighbor said arguments could regularly be heard coming coming from the couple's apartment. Also, a kayaking instructor from Friends of Acadia who interacted with and observed Lester and Mokeme says the couple had the worst argument she had ever seen in her professional career before the alleged murder. The trial is expected to wrap up next week. Well, 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with alleged robberies at a Waterville bank and a Fairfield convenience store. Waterville police say a local Bangor savings bank was robbed on October 31st, and a Circle K in Fairfield was robbed the next day. They say they believe the same suspect had committed both alleged crimes and in both incidents did get away with undisclosed amounts of money. Waterville police say that they got a tip that the suspect was in the area of Front Street, but as officers converged, they were told the person was leaving. They found the vehicle nearby in a parking lot on Main Place and detained Isaac Sterling and Trevor Miller. Both men were ultimately charged with robbery and state-level criminal conspiracy. Police say Isaac was the suspect who allegedly entered those businesses. They say Trevor Miller allegedly acted as a getaway driver. And police say a Maine man threatened to show up at an elementary school in Topsom with an AR-15. His threat leading to an immediate lockdown of all Topsom schools and an investigation that led to the arrest of that suspect. Brad Rogers has the story.
Police arrested Adam J. Green in Fort Fairfield on charges of terrorizing and harassment by telephone or electronic device. Topsom police say they were notified at 8:45 this morning of a threat just made on social media. They say 36-year-old Adam J. Green had allegedly made jokes online about the recent mass shooting in Lewiston when a Topsom resident asked him why he would say that.
And then the person immediately started attacking them, making threats towards them, and then made threats towards a local elementary school, saying they'd come down here with their rifle.
An AR-15?
An AR-15 rifle, yes, sir.
Interim Superintendent Heidi O'Leary sent out an alert to parents letting them know about the threat. O'Leary said based on the initial information we have, the threat was made not by a man from this community, but from Caribou, Maine, who had a conflict with a former student. He threatened to find where the student lives and bring a weapon to an elementary school. No schools or students were identified by name.
Well, on the heels of what's just happened in Maine, it's just concerning. Our levels of anxiety are already high, and then this on top of it, is it a credible threat or is it not? And you take every threat as credible these days.
We spoke with several parents who chose to take their children home after learning of the threat.
I got the alert on the phone. It was very vague, so my first instinct was just to come grab my little guy.
Fort Fairfield police took the suspect in custody this afternoon, and the shelter-in-place order was lifted at all schools. Authorities also plan to get a warrant to confiscate his weapons. Topsom police notified Lewiston Police, the FBI, and Secret Service about the threats. In fact, Chief Hagan says the Secret Service was looking for Mr. Green for threats he allegedly made against President Biden.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. Well, switching gears now, after months of uncertainty and auction delays, an Orrington trash facility has finally been sold. Our David Ledford has those details.
Strike the property down. We've sold it for $1.5 million.
The Penobscot Energy Recovery Company has been auctioned off to the highest bidder. The Waste to Energy Group stopped operations back in May, and in September, more than 30 workers were temporarily laid off. At an auction Thursday, Pennsylvania-based company Delta Thermo Energy bought the facility for $1.5 million.
Have it about $1.5 million.
And they say they plan to keep the plant functional and get employees back to work as soon as possible.
I want all the people that work here to keep their jobs. We need to keep this alive.
That roller coaster is a rough ride. It has not been smooth, so it's good to have a direction to go in at this time.
As the plant sat idle over the past few months, waste intended for the facility was instead sent to Juniper Ridge Landfill, which charges tipping fees for waste handling. Orrington Town Manager Chris Backman says he expects the town to be billed for those fees.
We haven't received any bill yet. I anticipate that coming at any day. I'm prepared for that. Probably $120,000. It won't affect the town immediately. I think budgeting-wise going forward, I think we have some soul searching to do in how we handle our trash.
The new owner says the facility needs to be both cleaned and repaired before it can be back up and running, but he estimates that they could resume operations by as early as the start of next year.
The age of the plant is going to cause us to put a lot in, so we're looking at probably pretty close to the first of the year before it's running.
In Orrington, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A popular Bucksport brew house has closed after the sudden death of well-known Bucksport figure Brother Donald Paul Martell. Our Grace Blanchard spoke with a community member as they process this shocking turn of events.
It's just a very, 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 very sad day for all of us here.
Friar's Brewhouse Taproom shut their doors permanently after unexpectedly losing one of their own.
Without Brother Donald and his magic in the kitchen, nothing will ever replace the magic he did.
According to the taproom, police found Brother Donald Paul Martell deceased in his vehicle at a boat launch on Tuesday. Friar's opened in 2018 as part of the Franciscans of Bucksport and was the first taproom in the town.
Everybody knew Brother Donald. He was a celebrity. He was a hoot. He made everybody laugh.
Kimberly Dion worked with Brother Donald for 3 years and says he had a passion for brewing beer. She says the community will never be the same without him.
This, for me, was a dream job. I loved working with him every day. Loved dad jokes, loved telling jokes, loved magic, loved literature. Just a really beautiful, beautiful human being.
In Bucksport, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, we'll take a closer look at question 8 on next week's ballot. We'll be right back.
The big automakers want a monopoly on your car repairs. That's why they're starting to restrict access to your car's mechanical data. But voting yes on question 4, right to repair, will stop them. Hundreds of local independent repair shops across Maine urge yes on 4, because yes on 4 will protect consumer choice and save thousands of Maine jobs.
It's your car. It should be your choice where to fix it.
Vote yes on question 4. Yes on right to repair.
With AAA insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select multiple veterans to win a gift voucher from Chick-fil-A. Locally sponsored by Coach House Restaurant, Jerry's Used Cars Incorporated, Jamar Construction Products LLC, and McCusick's Petroleum.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Well, while you hear quite a bit about the first 4 referendum questions in the upcoming election, there are a total of 8 questions, 4 citizen-initiated referendums, and 4 proposed constitutional amendments. Our Augusta area reporter Corey Bouchard, who you just heard from in the previous block, found out more about one of those lesser-known proposed amendments. We're talking about question 8.
This particular provision of the Constitution has been
found unconstitutional for the last 23 years.
Question 8 reads, quote, do you favor amending the Constitution of Maine to remove a provision prohibiting a person under guardianship for reasons of mental illness from voting for governor, senators, and representatives, which the United States District Court for the District of Maine found violates the United States Constitution and federal law, end quote. According to Mark Joyce, the Mental Health Program Director for Disability Rights Maine, even though that section of Maine's Constitution was found to be illegal due to a 2001 federal court case, it's still on the books, just not enforced.
One of the things I'd like people to know the most when they're looking at question 8 is that this is not a question that is going to give someone under guardianship the right to vote. They have that right already.
Joyce adds, this is actually a very important step in protecting every Mainer's right to vote, even if it might seem a moot point.
One of the things that has come up with this particular question is people have said to me, well, Mark, they don't enforce it. It's illegal. Why go through all the rigmarole of getting this thing off of the Constitution? And I think the problem is that it is in our source document. So there is a real problem with disenfranchisement of individuals who go to the Constitution, read this thing, and go, oh, well, I can't vote, so I'm not going to go. That is one of the huge problems with still having it.
Election Day is less than a week away, Tuesday, November 7th. Stick with ABC 7 and Fox 22 News for your complete election coverage. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, question 2 on the town of Hamden's ballot asks voters if they want to authorize the appropriation and borrowing of up to $1.5 million to finance a road and bridge crossing project. The Sucker Brook, Stony Brook, and Marina Road crossings have all seen considerable damage due to weather and, of course, wear and tear as well. Voting yes would allow the town to seek a bond to make the necessary repairs. Voting no means the town would need to find alternative ways to get the necessary funding. According to Hamden's town manager, the Sucker Brook crossing has grown to what some would call an oversized culvert. Meanwhile, Marina Road and the Stony Brook Bridge have been washed out multiple times due to rain.
There's a sewer line that runs underneath that bridge, so not only does the bridge have to be repaired, but the sagging sewer line has to be repaired.
Well, voting for the residents of Hamden will be held at the Scan Recreation Center on November 7th, just around the corner, folks. And after the break, we'll have the latest on the escalating conflict in the Middle East. Stay with us.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary, call now to see how a WellCare Medicare Advantage plan could get you some big benefits, including this all-in-one WellCare Spendables debit card to use for over-the-counter health items. Find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. A WellCare Medicare Advantage plan is designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, coverage for prescription drugs, dental, vision and hearing, and the WellCare Spendables debit card to make getting the coverage you need more convenient. The WellCare Spendables debit card can be used for over-the-counter health items. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare Medicare Advantage plan with a $0 or low monthly plan premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 or low monthly plan premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-877-282-3827 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, and we make them easy to use so you can support your best health. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free guide will provide information to make a smart choice for your health care coverage. Just call 1-877-282-3827. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information, so call 1-877-282-3827. Call today.
Choosing Miracle Ear was a great decision. Like when I decided to host family movie nights. Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment, and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs. Now I enjoy every moment. The quiet ones and the loud ones.
Make a sound decision. Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
The fighting between Israeli forces and Hamas militants is intensifying in the air and on the ground. The death toll on both sides now topping 9,000 as the U.S. calls on Israel to allow more aid into Gaza amidst the growing humanitarian crisis there. ABC's Justin Finch has the latest from Washington.
This morning, Israeli troops pressing deeper into North Gaza. The Israeli Defense Forces says its ground operation is expanding, reporting its troops have completely encircled Gaza City and are locked in face-to-face battles with Hamas militants. Israel intensifying air assaults on Hamas targets across Gaza, demolishing densely populated areas. Civilian survivors, including children, rescued from the rubble. The Biden administration calling for humanitarian pauses to allow more aid inside Gaza.
We do not support a ceasefire and that gives time for Hamas to regroup, which is something that, again, would put Israeli citizens and others in danger.
A senior U.S. official telling ABC News the U.S. is also flying unarmed MQ-9 Reaper drones over Gaza to assist Israel with locating more than 200 hostages Hamas is holding captive. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said for more meetings with top Israeli leaders today.
We will focus as well on steps that need to be taken to protect civilians who are in a crossfire of Hamas's making.
At the South Gaza-Egypt border, the White House says 74 Americans and their families were among hundreds of foreign nationals to enter Egypt through the Rafah border crossing in recent days. American Maha Elbana, an aid worker from New Jersey, now safe and well in Cairo, speaking to our Maggie Ruley.
I have PTSD. I've been through a lot. If I hear like a loud noise, I jump. I had a panic attack. It's unbearable. So you can't really escape it.
On Capitol Hill, a House Republican majority passed a $14 billion Israel aid package paid for with money earmarked for the IRS. But it also leaves out Ukraine defense funding. That bill likely dead on arrival in the Democrat-led Senate, and the president has vowed a veto. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home on Monday, mechanical engineers informed School Union 93 and Surrey Select Board members that the Surrey Elementary School has a ventilation problem in the kindergarten classroom, leading to high levels of carbon dioxide. According to the school superintendent, Derek Perkins, the CO2 levels were found to be 1,600 parts per million. And for an 8-hour period, levels of 5,000 parts per million would be considered dangerous. Perkins says it's far from ideal, but in the short term, they have newly purchased CO2 meters. Safety measures have also been created in coordination with the school nurse.
Should they be sending their kids? And I would say at this point, yes. There's nothing that's really changed in this building in the last 15 years, other than we've always had a ventilation issue. I'm just glad that we did some work to find it.
Perkins hopes a brand new ventilation system will be installed over the summer. He said he and the school board are hoping to get funding from the Maine Department of Education's School Revolving Renovation Fund to pay for those repairs. The fund will move to have the state forgive between 30 to 70% of the actual costs, which are estimated to be around $1.5 million. And folks, there is more to come. Keep it right here.
Question 3 is too costly and too risky.
It's a $13.5 billion gamble that puts politicians in charge.
It will increase our electric bills.
We can't afford higher electric bills. And the politicians, they're not even required to have an operations plan when they take over. No plan to keep the lights on?
Not even for emergencies or power outages.
That's a bad idea.
Mainers can't afford this costly proposal.
I'm voting no on 3. It's a risk we can't afford.
Does your dream kitchen look like this? Or this? Or maybe you need a little more inspiration. Get it when you explore the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber Company. When you find the look you like, the Hammond team will help you customize it, including accurate 3D renderings, so you can visualize your project before the work begins. Hammond offers delivery from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire and professional service after the sale. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select multiple veterans to win a gift voucher from Chick-fil-A. Locally sponsored by First National Bank, Healing Hands Massage, Silver Fox Automotive, and Triple S Tax Shop.
And finally, folks, last but never least, here is your full forecast with Devin Biggs.
Today's weather is brought to you by Healing Hands Massage in Hampton, providing professional massage services tailored specifically for their clients. Stop by Healing Hands Massage today. You'll thank yourself later. Alrighty, we have that small crowd advisory that's posted until 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, though. Wave heights are expected to become a little bit more active as a result of some gusty winds moving in, though, with a system not too far away off to the north and west. So they're not bad just yet, but during the afternoon period today, we're going to be watching for this taking place with wave heights at around 3 feet right now, so we will need to keep an eye on that throughout the afternoon period today and also in the parts of tomorrow morning as well. Now, the radar may look a little bit more busy. We've had clouds moving through. There might be a few returns showing up here. There may be moisture up aloft, but I don't think any of this is reaching the ground. We've had some dry air up aloft, so I think whatever is falling from there is not reaching the ground because of what we call virga, precipitation evaporating before it reaches the ground. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture, though. We have a frontal system well off toward the north, though, causing some of this to develop. We have high pressure not too far away, sending that dry air in our direction. That's why we're looking dry out there as we do move forward during the daytime period today. So let's take a look at things with Futurecast. So sunshine's back this afternoon, and we'll keep that going until it goes down, of course. And then overnight tonight, increasing clouds will be common. The winds start to pick up as well. Maybe a few raindrops further off towards the north. But for us, we stay dry out there, though, with just some clouds out there, and that'll be about it. Throughout the day Saturday, the clouds will get out of here and reveal some more sunshine. And even as we head towards Saturday night and the parts of Sunday morning, clouds look to move back into the picture yet again. And try to get a few raindrops going as we head towards Sunday morning. Not quite sold on that 100%, so I'll have to keep an eye on that too to see how it does develop. But otherwise, though, gusty winds on the way today, reaching up to 20 to 25 miles per hour at times. We'll keep that going later on tonight as well. Even some gusts possibly getting close to 30 miles per hour at times. But then by Saturday afternoon, the winds finally start to relax, so we'll be done with the wind by Saturday afternoon. Average high temperature is 51 degrees. We'll do just about that today. Lower 50s on the way. Middle 50s Saturday. We're back in the lower 50s Sunday. Middle 40s Monday, back in the middle 50s Tuesday, and 40s and 30s on the way Wednesday and also into your Thursday. For today, lower 50s and a partly cloudy sky, also breezy, south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, lower 40s, mostly cloudy and breezy, and south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, middle 50s, that'll be a nice day, right? Partly cloudy, the winds backing off out of the southwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's looking at extended forecast brought to you by Healing Hands Massage. So by Sunday, we'll be partly cloudy, highs in the lower 50s. Remember the time change as well as 2 a.m. becomes 1 a.m. early Sunday morning. By Monday, we'll be mostly cloudy, highs in the mid 40s, and rain chances moving Tuesday, highs in the mid 50s.
We'll have to see all those sunny skies and mild temperatures, at least during the day. Thank you so much, Devin. Well, that is going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Beth Jones. We'll see you tonight on ABC 7 News at 6.